Now, the first thing I want to say to you as well is get rid of the excuses. So whatever your story is and whatever you are telling yourself, you need to let that go, okay? Don't look at Brit and myself and say, oh, they're personal trainers or they work in group fitness, so it's easy for them, because there are so many other people. It just so happens in our region, you have some leaders that are in the fitness industry, but there are plenty of other leaders out there who are not in the fitness industry, okay? So, and I'm not really in the industry. I train a couple of clients from home, that's it. But you know, you've got your DOMs and area manager looking to go region. You've got Samara. Andrea will be the first person to tell you that she's got no ties to a gym or anything like that. So you certainly do not need that. It just so happens, I just don't want you to look at us and go, oh, well, you're in front of so many people and yada, yada, yada. That's just a story that you are telling yourself. Okay, it has no relevance to your business at all. So just look around. There's just so much proof elsewhere of other people who have been really, really successful. So if, you know, I just want you to be aware that we all have the same opportunity and we all have the same ability to talk to people. Okay, so just, yeah, just in case you sort of think about that, I just wanted to point that out. So one of the key things, obviously, to become an area manager is to sponsor. Okay, we know that. You can go area on your own. Brit went into qual on her own, I believe, when she first started. It happens, but it's easier with a team. Okay, so obviously that involves sponsoring. Now, to sponsor, we have to ask. We know this. Now, there's a couple, and I'll give you some examples a little bit further on, but if you're asking people and they aren't saying yes, you need to check your belief. First of all, we need to check your verbiage, but then we need to check your belief in you know what you're doing and also in yourself. All right, and a lot of that does tie back to personal development, which I'm also going to touch on briefly. But you also need to shut the back door, because people will not join you if they think there's a chance that you're going to leave. So if someone joins my team, they know I'm going to be doing Arbonne in 5 years with or without them. Okay, they can leave, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm a pretty safe bet to join me because Sarah is Arbonne. Yeah. What do you think someone is doing when they look at you? Are they thinking, oh, we'll just wait and see? Are they waiting to see if you're going to keep going? Do they know? No, she's definitely going to stick with this. Like, what are you putting out there to people? You know, are you a bit like, oh, we'll just see how it goes? That would not inspire me to join your team. I would be like, oh, okay, let's just, you know, maybe I'll join Mary down the street because Mary's really into it. You know, so you need to shut the back door and you need to have a no matter what attitude when it comes to your business. And you've done the first thing even just by showing up tonight, because it really is so important to plug in. But yeah, you need to first of all look at what you're portraying to other people and actually have a look at yourself and think, am I in this? Like, am I actually going to make a red hot go of this, or am I dipping my toes in? Because if you're dipping your toes in, that's fine, but you're not going to grow a booming business that way. You'll just, you know, you'll get paid as a hobby, basically, as something that you do every now and then. If you actually want to give this a red hot go and become an area manager, you know, you need to have that confidence and you need to have that commitment as well. And it is a decision. And I used to hate it when people said that to me about going region, because I was like, I've decided. But people would be like, no, you really need to make a decision. Yeah, I know, Brit. But, you know, and people would say it to me and I'd be like, I have decided. But I have to admit, I do know what they mean, because I always wanted it so badly. But then when all the other girls went region and I didn't, that was fine. But the following year, I was like, I am not going region. Like, that is just not an option for me. Like, there's no way I'm going another year. You know what I mean? And that was a real decision, because I was like, this is happening. So I do kind of understand what they're saying. But I guess just, you know, it is all about having that commitment and doing the things that honor that commitment. You know, are you going to watch Bachelor at 8:30, or are you going to send out a couple of messages, like, you know, which is serving your commitment? Because that's what it really is about, that focus and that commitment. The other thing I want to mention to you as well is, if you do feel that you have been stuck trying to get to the next level, please know it's not always going to be like that at every level. So I feel like I did district quite easily. I did area quite easily, and I felt like I really hit a wall going from area to region. And that was my story, but I feel like we'll go nation really quickly. Yeah. So it doesn't mean that, oh shit, it's taken me 3 years to go, you know, area. Now it's been 3 years to get region. That's not how it works. I think for a lot of you, once you start sponsoring, you'll fly, because you've got so many other skills. It is literally just getting the ball rolling on that front. And then I think it will happen quite quickly. You can go area and then you can go region like 2 months later. Do you know what I mean? So don't feel like, if you're stuck, that's what it's going to be like at every single level. It is not like that. Okay. It can change. We all have our own journeys, and it just depends on where you're at and how consistently you are working your business. And that is why I like that page where we were doing the ask, because it really was consistent ask, and that's where it comes. And it may not be instant. You may not get yeses straight away. They say on average, Jim Rohn says that if you ask 10 people, the likelihood is that one will say yes to even looking at the business or possibly joining. So 1 out of 10. So the people that go really quickly in this business have asked 100 people in 1 month, okay? Or you can ask 100 people over 3 or 4 months. Do you know what I mean? And that's why some people go really quickly, because they ask 100 people in a month, whereas other people might do, okay, if you did 1 a day, that's what, 30 a month. You know what I mean? So that's why it takes so much longer, because if you get your one, you instead of getting, in that 1 month, you're getting it spread out over all those months. And then we've got the attrition in the business where not everyone stays. So it really is just about condensing it. And that's why we say be consistent and get your ask done every single day. And I am going to give you a couple of examples that we're going to go over. So, right. Now, something that Britt actually has mentioned to me, which is something that I want to do as well, but I haven't, been that fantastic at it as yet, is branding yourself. And this is just a little something that you can do as a something extra. This is not the key. This is not how you'll go area, but it's just a little something that you can be aware of. So, for example, when you look at Britt, or when you see Britt's Instagram, you see dolphins. Okay, so if you see a dolphin, you probably think of Britt. I know I do. I'm like, Britt is like the dolphin. I also, when I think champagne, I think Britt. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but me, I'm like, Britt and champagne go together. So even if I'm not looking at her feed, if I was somewhere and I saw a dolphin, I would think of Britt. Then I would probably think of Arbonne. And then, it's just all about linking it. So what do you want to brand yourself as? Evie, you're the skate girl. I know that. Yes. So when people jump on your news feed, what do they see? What do they get from you? And what are you putting out there? What are you branding yourself with? I might be the boob lady now. I don't know. But, it's just like, but, what, I know that people think of Arbonne when they see me, but, what else are they putting out there? And that's something I personally am working on as well. But it's just a little something to be aware of, when you are putting things out there and you are marketing yourself, I guess. It's all about branding yourself and having you come to someone's mind when they're thinking about buying a protein, or they're thinking about getting healthy or losing weight or their skin. You're the one that pops into their mind when they see something. So that's just a little something to think about. Now, something else I want to talk about is, this is massive, and I know we talk about it, but I don't know how seriously people take it. Your affirmations. Are you actually doing them? Do you write them every morning? And no one's perfect. Okay, you're going to skip a morning here and there, but do you get back into it the next day? What are your affirmations? Because for you guys right now, your affirmations should be, I am an area manager. I am a bonusing area manager. Hell, you can go region because you go area on the mate. I'm a regional vice president. Go for region. That's totally okay. Whatever you feel, it needs to be sort of semi-comfortable, achievable, and a little bit scary. But I like to have you written down what is the date that you're going to qual, and how much QV do you do, and what date do you complete, and how much QV do you do. You need to be specific. You need to write it down. I always, even for Nation, I've written down the prior 3 months and what QV I expect to do. If someone rang me up tomorrow and said, right, what date are you going into qual and how much QV are you doing? I'd be like, okay, I'm doing this on this date, this on this date, and this on this date. I probably won't hit exactly that, but do you know what I mean? And I did that for region as well. So it's not even about just having that 10,000 everywhere. What date do you plan to go this month? Are you doing 10,000 this month, or are you doing it next month? And are you doing 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, or are you doing 10,000 and coming out on 14,000? You need to know what you're doing, and you need to put it out there to the universe. Write it down. Okay. March 10,000, April 14,000, May 20,000. You're bonusing. I am a sponsoring machine. I am bringing aces into the business. I can barely keep up. My business is so busy. I'm so grateful that I'm have such an amazing business. I'm a strong leader. All of those kinds of things, you need to write them down, and you need to say them to yourself. It's not going to take long. You can do, if you're busy, do 4 lines in the morning. If you've got time, do a full page. Once you get going, it's quite addictive, because you're like, yeah, man, I'm killing it. And you come up with all these amazing things. I am grateful for my life of abundance, for my abundance of health, wealth, and energy. and just keep putting it out there to the universe. It is really effective and it is really important. It sets your focus and it puts it out to the universe. Do not underestimate this, because I did. And when I finally went region was when I honed in on my personal development and my affirmations. And whether or not that's coincidence, I don't know, but it worked and everyone says it works. So just don't, it's such a tiny thing. And it's like the easiest part too, because, the other stuff's harder. But it's just and it's something you're completely in control of. So just don't underestimate that. So make sure you're really clear on your goals. And I will talk to you about the breakdown of QV. Meetings and trainings are so important. Not only that, you need to show up. Even if you don't have a team, show up like you have a team. Be an area manager. Get on the call. Come to the DA. Be at the training. Okay? If your business is shit, you need to be at the meeting. If your business is flying, the meeting needs you. Okay, so either way, you need to be there. You need to know, people need to know that you are there, you are consistent. I would never not turn up, even, actually, I was even going to take Ruby on her birthday. But I would, kids' birthdays are a little bit different. But other than that, like, it's just the way that it is. Like, it's in my calendar. It's a non-negotiable, So, it's just really, it really is important. Okay, so I'm going to break it down for you. To go into area qualification, this will freak some of you out, and for some of you this will sound really easy. You need to sell 32 healthy living packs. Now, depending on how your brain works, you may be thinking, holy shit, or you might be like, that's actually not that bad. That's for area goal, guys. 32. That's not that bad to me. I don't think that sounds that bad. Or it's 36 skincare sets. So 32 nutritions or 36 skincare. Now, if you sponsor someone into the business, you can do 16 each. That's not too bad. That's for area qual. That's massive. If you bring 2 people into the business, it's even less. And can you see how that starts? What is it? It's 10.2. So 10 packs each and a couple of mascaras. Like, that is so achievable. So you can see how it is just so much easier once we bring people into the business. It's not that hard. Don't get caught up in 10,000, because 10,000 can seem like such a big number. And I remember thinking 10,000 was a big number and being like, holy shit, like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, here I am trying to do 2.5 and we're talking about, like, that just seems massive. But it's not. It really isn't. If you've got other people joining your business, it is not. All we ever do is 2,500. That is your building block. You can go over, but 2,500, and then you teach and train other people how to do exactly the same thing. So just don't get caught up in that big number. Be willing to break it down and see how achievable it really is. You could go out and just bring a couple of people in. I mean, God, when I sponsored Rick, she did 10,000 in her first month. And not everyone is going to do that, obviously, but it can happen. It does happen, and you hear about happening, and it will happen to you at one point in your business. You will get that person that just comes in and smashes it, and you're like, wow. Like, they always say you want to sponsor someone that's better than you. That's what you're hoping for. So how are you asking? It all comes down to the ask. And are you asking? When you're asking someone, I really want you to try and change your mentality to, whose life am I changing? And if that makes you squirm, you need to work on your belief. If you're feeling like, like, oh, I don't know if that's it, for me now, I can actually be like, you know what, I want this for you. Like this young girl, Susan, that's just come on board, hearing her story nearly made me cry. And I was like, oh my God, I just wanted to be so successful, and there was no part of me that was interested in what she could do for me. I was literally just like, oh my God, I'm really going to work for her. And that's a really good place to be, because I wasn't invested in her joining me. I was invested in helping her, and people can tell. So you need to, first of all, have your belief. And if your belief isn't there, I've got some tips that are working on that too. But plug into the meetings, all that kind of stuff. Maybe listen to SoundClouds, your belief will grow. There is so much proof out there that this business works. It's actually not about us. It is about who else you can help with this business. Yeah. And I say it all the time, this business, my life, would look so different. I'm forever grateful that Danielle did persevere with me, because I wasn't open to it initially. So yeah, if someone says that they're not open to it, doesn't mean that they're not going to join. when you are scared to ask someone, when you've got that person that you think, oh, like it's a little bit nerve wracking because they might be super professional or, for whatever reason it might be, that's the person that you really need to ask. That's the one that you want in your business because they're the high flyer or the person that's going to be amazing and you feel a little bit scared to ask them. They're the ones that you definitely need to ask. They're going to be good at the business, hopefully. So let's have a look. I've got some examples of asks here and I wrote them down. The more you ask and the more you stuff it up and the more you fail, the better you get. Okay. You're going to fumble your words maybe if the first few times you'll be like, Arbon, but you will get better. I'm at the point now where I can pretty much just fleetingly say to someone, oh, you should do Arbon. And it doesn't, like, I can just throw it out there and I don't feel super uncomfortable with it. Because I have bumbled over my words so many times. So there's the straight ask and then there's the referral ask. So the straight ask is, hey Mary, hope you're keeping well. As you know, I've got an Arbonne business and I wanted to check in with you and see how you're going these days. I'm growing my team and thought of you because why did you think of her? Good network, good personality, said she was struggling with school fees, didn't want to go back to work, whatever it is. I know you are smart and open-minded. Okay, so you're basically saying to them, I know you're open-minded, so you're complimenting them and making them think, okay, I'm open-minded. I have no idea if it would be a right fit for you or not, but if I bought you a cup of coffee or sent you some information, would you take a look at it? All I ask is that you don't say no until you know what it is. Okay, so you've complimented them, you've told them they're open-minded, then you've asked them to take a look, and just said, look, I'd love for you to have a look. All I ask is that you don't say no before you know what it is. If they still come back and say no to that, you can say, look, okay, look, I understand this may not be for you, but it's definitely a fit for me. Could I ask you to get a few friends together just so we can get the word out there and practice doing a workshop? Or, ask them if they know of anyone that might be interested in something like this. Or can you give them a gold bag and get some feedback on some products? So you just keep working down. People don't like to say no too many times. So you might get a yes and you might think, they might be like, oh shit, at least you stopped asking me about the business. I'll have a workshop. Or, oh God, yeah, just chuck us a gold bag or send me some samples, So you just keep working down and hopefully you will get a yes, or at least ask for a referral. Now, when you're asking for a referral, this is something that I've learned quite recently. If you just say to someone, do you know of anyone that might be interested in this business? That's a really hard way to get a referral because then they're probably just thinking, how many people do we know that are going, oh, yes, please? Generally not. But if you say, do you know of anyone that has just had a baby? Or do you know of anyone that's really into their healthy living? Or do you know of anyone that is a, athlete? We've got a fantastic phyto sport range. I'd love to share. So if you narrow it down, they can actually start thinking, oh, who's just had a baby? Or if they run into someone, they can be like, oh my God, okay. You narrow it down and their brains can actually think about who they want to refer. But if you just give them a blanket, can you refer anyone? They'll be like, oh, have a think. They're not going to have a think. You haven't narrowed it down. There's too many people. It's not a priority for them. So you need to narrow it down and give them an idea of what you're looking for. And that's the other thing. Know who you want to sponsor. I seem to have a thing for single mothers. That seems to be I guess because I can relate to their story. So they just seem to be, I am sponsoring them everywhere. So they just seem to be coming, you know what I mean? So, right, asking for a referral. Hey, Mary, as you know, I have an Arbonne business and it's going really well. I'm looking for 5 people to train up to my level and I wondered if you knew of anyone looking for some extra cash or a change of scene. I'm not pushy or anything like that. I just know how this business changes lives. And that is the message that Danielle put up that she's been having a lot of success with. And it's a great way to get in front of people or at least, find out if they have anyone that is looking for something like this. And sometimes they do turn around and go, oh, what about me? So that's just another, and most people are looking for an extra stream of money. They're just really scared of trying something new and failing. Okay. They hear about these stories and they just don't want to put themselves out there. So you're looking for the brave people. Okay. So let me go back. All right. Now, before I keep going, do you guys have any questions or anything in particular that you wanted me to cover? You have to unmute yourself if you do. Okay. All good? Okay. All righty. So do you guys put your hands up? I think I can see all of you. Who feels confident asking about the business? So who doesn't feel confident? Yep, Tara, Claire, Eve. I can't see Kelly. Don't put your hand up, Kel, if you're driving. It's a bit dangerous. Danny. Okay, cool. So I'm going to start with you, Danny. Where are you? I'm trying to unmute you. Can you mute yourself? So what is your hesitation about asking? What are you like? What are you scared of? What's your what's stopping you, or what are you finding difficult? You just need to unmute yourself.
Press on the picture and then unmute yourself.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Yeah.
I don't know. I probably just battle to ask because of probably fear of rejection.
Yeah.
That's probably my main one.
Yeah. And that's really normal. So I think the biggest thing there is, first of all, like they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting the opportunity. And it's probably just mostly because they don't have enough information. As women, we attach emotion to everything. Okay. Men don't go to a business meeting and ask someone to look at a business plan and then get upset when they walk away if they say no. Do you know what I mean? Can you imagine your husband coming home and being like, oh my God, I read people today. Like, a man is not going to do that. They would not come home and cry to their wife because, someone said no to them. Whereas we are like, oh my God, like seriously, they probably hate me now. What am I going to do when I see them at pick up? Like, oh my God, like we just go into a fucking tailspin over it. It's business. This is a business. We are offering someone a business opportunity. If they don't want it, you're like, cool, no worries. Anyway, I'll see you at school pickup. Like, all good. Do you know of anyone? Okay, cool, sweet. Like, just take the emotion out of it. It's got nothing to do with you. It either might be the right time for them or they're just not interested in it. So I just really want you guys to try and do that and take the emotion out, because it is a business. It is not. Have you guys heard the coffee cup analogy, where you go to a coffee shop and the waitress goes around and she offers everyone refills? If someone says no to a refill, she doesn't start bawling her eyes out. She goes to the next person and offers them some coffee because they just don't want coffee. They're not having a go at her. They're not interested in coffee anymore. Like, they've had their coffee. Do you know what I mean? So she just goes to the next person, and that's all we're doing is we're just offering someone something. And if they say no, we can just leave it. Like, we could obviously follow up, like I've said, but then other than that, it's not a big deal. So I really want you to, I feel like some of you, like, it's sort of becoming a bigger deal than it needs to be. Like, it really isn't a big deal. You can just go out there and ask a million people and you'll get over it really quickly. Go out to your local shopping centre, talk to the girl at Big W, chat to the girl at Sports Girl, pop into Just Jeans. I believe Jeans West or Just Jeans is closing down now. They've all lost their jobs, and no one really wants to do retail for the rest of their life. So if you haven't got, a warm market, go into your cold market and chat, add people to your Instagram, add people to your Facebook. Instagram's probably better, I think, a bit less personal than your Facebook. But, there are just so many different ways to talk to people and to get in front of people. Like, each and every one of you have the ability to do this. Like, I fully believe that, but you do need to focus and you do need to do the work. Area manager is a fantastic level. You'll get to walk the stage at AAC, which is phenomenal, and that is such an amazing experience. Your business becomes willable. So you have created something that will pass down in your family or to your partner, even when anything happens to you, at area manager level. That is amazing. Your pay, you're looking at about $1,500 to $5,000 a month. All right. All you're going to do is just sponsor a couple of people and sell those packs. It's, and you've just got to stay focused. If you come in every now and then and just do a little bit, you're not going to get anywhere, okay? Another analogy, the man that brought the popcorn onto the stage and he kept putting it in the microwave for 15 seconds and taking it out and checking it, and putting it in for 15 seconds and taking it out and checking it. He did it about 15 times. The popcorn didn't pop. Put it in there for a minute and a half, consistently, it pops. Do you know what I mean? That's the same with when you're working your business. If you just do a couple of days, I might do a workshop this weekend and then, I'm just doing this, carry on with life. And then, I might do a workshop next weekend. You'll get paid, but you're not growing an amazing business. You're not getting into that momentum. You need consistent activity and you need to be doing consistent asks. Okay? Very, very important. That is how you are going to get to area manager. And it's fun when it happens. You might feel like you're at a standstill now, but I can promise you the year gets better from here. this is the worst months of the year are over, and now you're just going to build, and your business is just going to get better and better and better. But you need to be focused and you need to be in the game. So let me just have a look. I think I've covered all of this. I have got a call of action. A call to action.
Hey, Sarah,
Yeah.
I always think it would be great, and I've done this before when I'm about to send a message to someone, is I pretend it's not my phone.
Oh, really?
You know, like, wouldn't it be cool one day if you just sat there and all swapped phones and go, okay, these are my top 5 people I'm too scared to ask.
Yeah.
And we just typed each other's messages out and pushed send.
Yeah,
send. Like,
yeah.
so I've actually sat there before and just typed it as if I'm not going to send it, and then just left the message sitting there, and then sometime of the day just randomly come over to my phone and just push send. And like, you know, like it's just that moment in time.
Yes.
The other day I asked 2 group fitness instructors that I'd been nervous to ask for a long time, and they were both so lovely in their responses. They both weren't interested, but that's by the seeds planted.
Yes.
But they're like, no, I'm not interested, but just love watching you. You're so passionate, and you know, I've just got a lot on at the moment. It's not really my thing, but I know now that they're going to watch me more on Instagram, because they weren't very actively watching me either. So yeah, I always type the message, go away and do stuff thinking I'm not going to send it, and then just get brave at 1 second in somewhere in the day and come back and just push send, and it's done.
And that's the thing, you know, like Farah, the girl that's just joined my business, I have been asking her for years. Like, not all the time. I've still, like, we were friends anyway, so I've gone to her house and caught up and not asked her because I don't want to be annoying, but I've asked, and then I've left it 6 months, and then I've asked, and then I've said, and then I've asked her for a workshop, and she's ignored my messages and, you know, got back to me weeks later about something else, and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. She didn't hate me. Like, I would still go and see her, and we would have conversations and do other things. That's totally fine. You know, I didn't see her all the time. But you know what I mean? But she knew, you know, and she has an entrepreneurial spirit, and she's always, and then she joined Roden and Fields. And I was like, for fuck's sake, girl, why didn't you join me? You know, but we went through that, and I let her do her thing, and I didn't say anything else. And now she's come and she's joined my business, because guess what? I'm still going. And I'm doing the do. So as long as you're still going, these people that you're asking, it's not a waste of time, because they do come back, and in 6 months things can change for them, or they're like, shit, she's still going with this. Okay, she's really serious. You know, she's really doing this thing. So, but you do have to do these things. So I'm going to give you a call to action, because I don't want to hold you for too much longer, and I've been going for half an hour. But where is my call to action? It's not your typical call to action. I'm not going to make you message people. I want you to do that because you're going to do that anyway. That is what we do. You can't build a business if you're not asking, whether it be about nutrition, joining the business, or the skincare. We've got that event, obviously, at the end of the month. What I would like you to do, your call to action, is I want you to do your affirmations. Whether you do them in the morning or the evening, I want you to write down your goals. Okay, I'm an area manager, I am an ACE, I sponsor my next ACE, whatever it is, I want you to write them down. Even if you only get 2 lines out before bed or in the morning, ideally do a page. I want you to read 10 pages of a personal development book every day. If you can't, get on the Audible. Everyone has access to my Audible. There is no excuse. Even if you listen for 10 minutes on the way after school drop off, or on the way to the shopping centre, like, you know, you can find that time. You really can. I really want you to make this a focus. I think this is actually going to really help you guys more than getting you to do asks every day. I truly believe this. And then the last one is to read an eye on Arbonne every day. And that will help your belief. If you want to know where they are, if you go to the source and you type eye on Arbonne, it will take you to the eye on Arbonne success stories. And you can click on it and you can pick who you want. There's a whole heap there. It's so funny. It's got Stuart Armfield. He looks so different, and he was an executive regional vice president. There's quite a few that, you know, they've gone a long way since then. He's now like a 4-wide ENVP. But, you know, so, and basically it's just a success story from someone in the business, and they're all titled different things. They are helpful for you. And also, if you have a client that is a hairdresser, you might be like, oh, I've got an eye on Arbonne from a hairdresser. You can send it to them. So it's a learning thing. If you can't get all of those things done in a day for any reason, do as much as you can. But I honestly think, I really want you guys to get this done every single day. Now, if you want to be held accountable, you can message me when you've done it and just go done. But if you're not interested in doing that, totally okay. You can keep yourselves accountable. I cannot stress enough. I really think this is very important. I still want you to do all your other stuff, run your business, do your ask. But I think building your belief and working on yourself and your affirmations is probably a bit of a missing key as to why you're not getting where you want to be. So I really, really, I just really want to put some importance on that for the next 2 weeks. And then I want to come back and check in with you on our next area manager call in 2 weeks' time. So does anyone have any questions before I let you all go? Oh, I need to do a boomy. Hang on. Talk about social media. Hey, do you guys notice that I got a light from my computer? Can you tell that I'm brighter? I got a light so that I'm not in the dark. Anyway, probably not super important. Right. Are you guys ready? Are you ready for boomy? Hang on.
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say, it's so funny just sitting here chatting to myself, like, what is okay. Like, yeah, they're ready. Okay. Gallery view. There we go. All right, are you ready to do something exciting? 3, 2, 1. Bless your hearts. Beautiful. All right, so no questions at all, guys? That all makes sense? Don't worry, I filtered you.
Fantastic.
Sarah,
Yeah.
just quickly, could you message that referral dialogue that you just said? I just couldn't write it down quick enough.
Yeah, for sure. And pop it up in the page.
Yes, please.
Yes, beautiful. All right, guys. I honestly and truly believe in every single one of you. If I could come and spend every waking minute with you and like do it with you, I would, because I know how good this business is and I know what is possible, but I can't do that. Like, you have to do it. I can't do it. But I want you to come to Maui. I want you to come to the VP retreat. Like, it's amazing. You want this. Like, you really do. Just make it a focus, because I tell you what, it is so important, more important than all the other stuff. We're always going to have life. You've got to learn to make this a priority, and it will be so worth it. That is all. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. All right.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.